Hello everyone, welcome back to the therapy session for practice. Today we are helping a woman who went through assault by a male counterpart during the past. We will support her to face her past trauma. Therapist said, "Can you reveal to me about these difficult thoughts? Please tell me in what situations so they appear." Client said, "In particular when I am in the confined places. With a lot of people, it will reminds me of when I was assaulted. Even I realized that I am not danger in the public spaces. It's oppressing to see everybody looking at me. I feel trapped." Therapist said this feeling must be really difficult for you to manage. What do you do when you have these thoughts and feelings when you are out at the public spaces? Client said, "Last time when I was out and walked around the public areas, I have to leave the place because I felt so sick." Therapist said, "How did you feel just after you left? Were you still thinking of your traumatic experience?" Client said, "Yes, I couldn't think of anything else actually." Therapist said, "How about feeling oppressed?" Client said, "I felt better when I left the public spaces. I was relieved not to see all of their eyes on me anymore." The male therapist encouraged the female client to describe her experience, emphasizing temporal and conditional framing to highlight the functional relationship between the antecedent being in the public space, feeling oppressed, the actual leaving the public spaces, and the consequence feeling less oppressed but still thinking of the traumatic episode. Therapist said, "I want to rephrase of what you just said to me and make sure we are not missing something important." Client said, "Okay, thanks for listening to me." Therapist said, "So first you went to the public spaces." Client said, "Then I start to feel anxious. I saw everybody looking at me. It reminded me of what happened to me. I felt oppressed. I could not stand this anymore, so I left." Therapist said, "And what happened next?" Client said, "I felt relieved." Therapist said, "Okay, and you said that you were still thinking of what happened to you, right?" Client said, "Yes, that's the only thing I could think of." Therapist said, "How did that make you feel?" Client said, "Horrible, I couldn't get that out of my mind. I can't even get that out of my mind." Therapist said, "It's always in your mind. That must really be hard for you. Were you still trying to get it out of your mind?" Client said, "Yeah, I wanted to stop feeling oppressed." Therapist said, "Is that what happened?" Client said, "I didn't feel as oppressed after talking to you." Therapist said, "Have you felt oppressed again right now?" Client said, "I felt better now." Her voices seemed to be relieved. Therapist said, "Let's switch to other scenarios. Have you been to a concert before?" Client said, "I want to see the concert sometimes." Therapist said, "Tell me what happened when you go to the concert." Client said, "I would leave when the music start to getting loud and the crowd start to cheer around. It is reminding me about my past traumatic experiences." Therapist said, "Does that mean that leaving when you feel oppressed removes that feeling for a little while, but even they are not always true?" Client said, "Probably, but I don't always notice that because I just leave every time I feel oppressed. I am very upset in their moments. I don't really pay close attention to what happens next. I just feel like I can't stay at the concert anymore." Therapist said, "That seems understandable to me. It's hard to notice as everything that is happening when we are very upset." In the end, would you say that leaving the places that make you feel oppressed remove that feeling? Client said, "I think it does a little, but not always and not for long." Therapist said, "I want you to start looking for a series of activities that you could do during the week." Client said, "Thanks, I will try. Thanks for helping me."